News at 10 with Brian McConkey, Samantha German, Chief Meteorologist Josh Knight, and Sports Director Mitch Brown. Watch Fox News at 10, where we put local first, starts right now.
Two teenagers dead tonight after being gunned down at a Midlands apartment complex. At this hour, Columbia police trying to find whoever pulled the trigger. Late today, the Richland County coroner releasing new information in that case. Our Shay Simon went to the apartment complex where everything happened and talked to people who live in that area.
It's not really something we normally see, so that's a shocker to all of us.
Noreen Weimiller lives 5 minutes from Madison Station Apartments on Ulmer Road in Columbia. Two teenagers were killed there in a shooting Monday night.
It's two teens, and I have teens myself, and it just worries about what other people out there are doing and stuff like that.
The Richland County coroner says 15-year-old Desmond Williams and 17-year-old Reginald Nixon Jr.'s deaths have been ruled as homicides.
It didn't seem to be a violent situation as they were outside, just kind of hanging out. Desmond received 2 fatal injuries, and that Reginald did have 1 fatal injury.
Rutherford also making it clear that the teens' deaths were not justified and there was no criminal activity involved. State Representative Jermaine Johnson of Richland County says the deadly shooting shines a light on the issue of crime that needs to be resolved.
It's especially a tragedy when we lose 2 young people, 2 young people who have yet to reach their goals and dreams and their aspirations. So anything like this is something that we need to get a handle on.
And Columbia police tell me tonight investigators are following up on leads and they have been working on this case since last night. Anyone with information is asked to contact Crime Stoppers. In Columbia, Shay Simon, Watch Fox News, Local First.
A lot of questions here about this case. If you'd like to hear more from the Richland County coroner about this investigation, we do have that news conference posted for you on our website. Just click this story at WACH.com.
Good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Josh Knight. We are getting ready for a wet and much cooler Wednesday. Right now, we're still dry across the area. Still feels pretty nice out there, too. But this down to our southwest is going to start pushing in. And meanwhile, cold air is going to run into it as well. At this point, again, dry across our region. We did have some heavy rain today in parts of Orangeburg County and over closer to Lake Marion. But now things are dry, and we're at 72 in Columbia, 68 for Winsboro, near 70 in Sumter. But those temperatures continue to drop off tonight. And here's how the rain moves in. 10:30, starting to sneak into the southwest. I think it's a little bit more likely for us after midnight tonight. Here's a shot at 2:30 in the morning, and then it continues to build in, and it will likely be around for us as we go throughout the morning hours tomorrow and sticks around for most of the day. Temperatures start off at their warmest right in the low 60s and actually drop throughout the day. The afternoon will be wet, breezy, and only in the 50s. We'll get a look at when we finally kind of climb out of that hole coming up here in just a few minutes.
Well, a hack into the largest fuel pipeline in this country is causing a lot of chaos right now. In some parts of the Midlands, people have been rushing to the pumps all day, and some local gas stations simply have run dry. Our Saskia Lindsay checked out some of those gas stations in the area and has more on why experts say rushing to the pump is not the answer.
I've been to several gas stations in the Columbia area. All of them have long lines. People are definitely rushing to the pump. And some gas stations, like the one right behind me, have run out of gas completely.
Checked how much I had and I'm on empty, and I have to drive like 100 to 200 miles every day for work, so I panicked and came over here and luckily got some.
This guy, not so lucky.
It feels kind of tense here, and it felt kind of tense over at the other place too. People just parked in front of pumps, not knowing what to do.
Ernie King with AAA Carolina says there's no need to panic. That pipeline should be up and running again by the end of the week, but getting back to normal could take at least 2 weeks as the gas is redistributed. And rushing to the pump will only make the problem worse.
That's really the last thing that we want to be doing. It can really affect not only the amount of gas that we currently have, that we need to last us until they get this pipeline running again, but it absolutely will affect the price of gas.
That could reach $3 a gallon in just days.
I mean, it was probably $20 more filling up. I just tried to come over here quickly, and as I was getting gas, they closed them all up.
And to try to stop hoarding.
Some stations are going as far as putting their own restrictions and saying that you can only fill up your your car and not your gas tanks.
Now keep in mind other pipelines are working normally, so there is a supply, even though this hack has cut off 40% of the supply to this area. Reporting in Columbia, I'm Saskia Lindsay, WACHFOX News, Local First.
Well, this is what it was like in Myrtle Beach today. Similar scene to here in the Midlands. Drivers waiting in long lines. You can see how long, lined up along the side of the street there because of that cyber attack. And same story in Raleigh, North Carolina. Right now, officials say there is no shortage in fuel supplies there. Meanwhile, North Carolina's Governor Roy Cooper has declared a state of emergency. That declaration temporarily suspends motor vehicle fuel regulations to ensure there's enough fuel in that state. The Colonial Pipeline delivers 45% of the fuel used along the East Coast. In a word, embarrassed. That's how some state lawmakers say that they feel about the commencement speech given by University of South Carolina President Bob Caslen over the weekend. Now, the fallout leading Caslen to hand in his resignation, but the school's Board of Trustees didn't accept it. Kelsey Sanchez breaks down the reaction.
If he is the military man of honor that I believe he is, he will resign.
Senator Dick Harpootlian talking on the Senate floor Tuesday during a heated debate over University of South Carolina's President Bob Caslen's commencement speech.
What I saw in the video, and I watched the video of his commencement speech, gave me grave concerns, and I was embarrassed by it.
Caslen used a quote from U.S. Navy Admiral William McRaven and admitted to not citing him in the speech. Caslen issued an apology Monday saying he was truly sorry. Still, Harpootlian not holding anything back.
We need to address a systemic problem at the University of South Carolina that year in and year out has caused problems, and that is this board more concerned about the politics.
As a proud Gamecock myself, I am disappointed, embarrassed, and Senator from Newberry, you may not know what happened, but he flat out plagiarized the speech of another man in uniform.
However, not everyone on the Senate floor feels the same way about what played out over the weekend.
I just hate to see a person of his stature be mischaracterized as such.
And I get it. We all have our opinions, and we can state those here. But guess what we have a chance to do? We got to pass legislation to do things.
Caslen also faced backlash for mistakenly referring to the school as the University of California. WACHFOX News reached out to the university and Board of Trustees for a comment on the controversy surrounding Caslen. We are still waiting to hear back. In Columbia, Kelsey Sanchez, WACHFOX News Local First.
Now, I put a question on the WACHFOX Facebook page and asked you if you thought the Board of Trustees should have accepted Caslen's resignation, and here's what some of you had to say. David Burnham says he made a mistake and apologized. It's not like he committed a felony. Mike Henkel, one of our regular Facebook Live viewers, says absolutely. He doesn't even know which state he's in. This is the USC in Columbia, South Carolina, not California. He's not so bright, it seems. And Billie Jean says, we'll have you question if he really wants the job. I mean, offering to resign that quickly sounds like he's not interested anymore. You can feel free to join the conversation on the WACHFOX Facebook page. Well, DHEC officials say no deaths have been linked to coronavirus in South Carolina today. There are also less than 200 new cases of the illness. DHEC reporting 192 new confirmed cases. This latest round of testing had a 4% positive rate. And Governor Henry McMaster issuing an executive order on wearing masks during the pandemic. The order allows parents to decide if their children will wear a mask in school on their own. It also bans vaccine passports and bars local and county governments from using the state of emergency to put mask mandates in place. Now, here's what SC for Ed, that's a teacher and educator organization, is saying in response to that, issuing this statement on social media, saying, quote, the timing of this order the day after teacher contracts were due and less than a month before the end of the school year puts struggling districts, teachers, and staff in a vulnerable position. Meanwhile, new tonight, Columbia City Council has voted to extend the city's face mask ordinance. That ordinance will stay in effect until June the 5th. It stays the same. Anyone caught without wearing a mask could be fined $100. And by the end of next month, thousands of people in this state who are relying on extra federal unemployment money won't be able to get it. This comes after Governor Henry McMaster vowed to stop the state from receiving federal pandemic relief in an effort to boost the economy. Our Suji Nam shows you how the move could make things worse for a local daycare that's already struggling to make it.
We come in, sometimes we don't even clock in. So therefore, we have to work without getting paid.
Tamika Hill is a director of Victory Learning Academy, a daycare center in Richland County. She tells us she has already lost 3 of her staff members along the way because of the pandemic, leaving her and Miss Vicky, the owner, to keep the daycare doors open. Hill tells me she's also gotten a personal loan to try to keep all of her staff members at the center.
We love the children, so we have to stand and maintain the daycare so that some of the people that are working will bring their children. Some of my parents have to pay half. They can't pay the whole full like they normally used to pay the whole full.
The center has been relying on PUA, a federal assistance fund for self-employed or those underemployed. But now with Governor McMaster halting those funds, it's another steep mountain to climb. State officials hoping that by cutting federal aid, it would encourage those unemployed to get back on their feet.
The irony of the situation today is that we've got 81,000 open jobs posted, ready to be filled. At the same time, we've got 103,000 being paid unemployment.
The agency cutting several federal programs, which means the daycare center would stop receiving about $400 in aid, which Hill says was already not enough.
It's going to hurt a lot of people because a lot of people are looking for jobs. Some people can't go to work because they have to take care of their children.
Hill says she hopes and prays that things will look up for her daycare and that she plans to keep coming back because she loves taking care of children. In Richland County, Suji Nam, Watch Fox News, Local First.
Now, the federal assistance is set to end June 30th. The state workforce director is saying there are plenty of resources at his agency for people looking for jobs, and employment officials are working with counties to post open positions as often as possible. Stay with us. There's much more ahead tonight, including one local woman's journey to motherhood. After several no's, that woman is living a dream. Plus, the pandemic has forced us to spend more time staring at those electronic devices. No secret. Find out how health officials say you need to be keeping your eyes safe and a lot of other things from that digital strain.